of Philly, where the birds take flight. Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Marcus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Moore Street lights. Dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Blind guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. I like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by. Bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by. Bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.
And we're back. What's going on, Tone?
My guy. As always, always grateful to be here with you for another week of content.
Yes,
you
sir,
know,
yes, sir.
I don't take it for granted. I really don't, man. I look forward to these Tuesdays. It allows me to decompress from the work week, even though the work week is technically just getting started. But it's that perfect, what do you call it? Checkpoint for the week, man.
Yeah.
So, man, I appreciate you as always. You guys are tuned into the Bald Eagles podcast. He's Marcus Thomas of Pro Fan Talk. I'm your guy, Tone. This show's the second from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to church it to the game. You guys are fantastic as always. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to both channels. Again, that's both channels, Pro Fan Talk and Chalk It Up Sports. Make sure you guys like him, my man Marcus Thomas. He's giving you that illustrious curling content.
Facts, dude. We were having a conversation. And you guys that are on my channel, you saw the video I put out 2 days ago about curling. I've been watching curling. I got a good friend that I work with. Her daughter is heavy into curling. So every time I see it, I think of her, I follow it, all of that type of stuff. But I did this video, and it is the best, I guess, the best video as far as viewerships that I've done. The before that, the best video I did was about when Ryan Clark got fired from ESPN. He didn't get fired, but when he left to redo his contract, that one got 55,000 views total. I'm at 60,000 now in less than 2 days. So I don't know how everybody got interested in curling, but I appreciate you because it's fun. I like watching it. You know, the Olympics has been good. Can't wait till this gets done. Then basketball, WNBA looks like it may get started again. The combine is in 2 weeks, so we right back in the NFL thick of things. So yeah, it never ends, and before you know it, it'll be summertime, and we'll be looking at World Cup. So we got a lot of stuff on the plates this year, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, for sure, man. Free agency is gonna get here quick.
Yeah.
It's pretty well, free agency starts what, March?
Yep.
So that's always a big time. You know, you always feel like free agency is that kickoff to all right, now off to the races.
Yeah.
Now the arms race begins. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's gonna
Speaking of free agency, was that news about Bryce Harper true?
From the Phillies.
Going to New York? Going to the Yankees?
Nah, I don't think so. Let me see.
All right, I saw something.
Nah, it's not true. I mean, him and Dombrowski have been, you know, beefing a little bit ever since Dombrowski made those comments about, you know, him and the team,
Right.
and you know, I mean, look, I can't, you know me, I'm typically very much pro player, and I'm anti-establishment, but Dombrowski has put multiple rosters together, man. And they've gone from World Series berth to NLCS berth to getting knocked out in the wild card. I mean, like it's been a steady decline. So
yeah, they didn't had a hell of a lot of injuries too.
And they've had injuries, don't get it twisted. And let's keep it real too. Most notably, in that Diamondback series. I will never forget that Diamondback series. You let
Yeah.
that young team punk you.
Yep.
You let that
Couldn't get
young
the hits
team
when they had
punk
to.
you in Philadelphia twice.
Couldn't get their hits when they had to.
From your big money bats.
Yeah.
So again, but nonetheless, though, he's not going anywhere, man. He's not going anywhere. But who's somebody who apparently everybody wants to go somewhere? It's Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, most hated.
I've heard, and I know you guys probably feel like Takeome's tone on his Jalen Hurts soapbox again. You're damn right.
Damn right. Shit.
You're damn right.
Damn right.
If anybody not going to campaign for Jalen Hurts, I am.
Man, forget all of that, man.
So I forewarn you now. When you come to Chalk It Up Sports, when you come to the Bald Eagles podcast, just know I'm gonna hold it down for the kid.
Man, just know you gonna catch some strays if you disrespecting one.
Just keep it at 100, man. Just keep it at 100.
QB1, you gonna catch some strays, man.
Some people, I see people protect Nick Foles way more than they do Jalen Hurts. And in my mind, I'm like, oh. but anyway, that's a different conversation. The point is, though, I've seen like these random tidbits online. I don't really watch the national shows, but I see random tidbits because sometimes you can't help it. The algorithm is what it is. And I saw this one person, not even one. I see multiple people actually say, they would trade Jalen Hurts before trading AJ Brown, or I've seen Jalen Hurts hasn't earned a contract extension. It's always it's been centered around Jalen Hurts' time in Philly being cut short or needing to be cut short.
It's been centered around a bunch of nonsense.
Right. And here's the thing. I know people don't realize this. They should, but I know some people don't realize this. An organization 9 times out of 10 will never choose a receiver over the quarterback.
No.
Let's just make that clear.
No.
An organization,
especially when everything is known. If you got a Super Bowl winning quarterback, somebody, because at the end of the day, you got to get them the ball. Yeah. So, they're gonna say what they're gonna say, man. It's everybody got an agenda. Everybody want to get in the algorithm. So, it is what it is.
And also, I'm glad my man Justin Long brought this up, right? Because this has been perpetual. This is something that's been consistent. Jalen Hurts' jersey has been in the top 5 perennially. Yeah. Since Jalen Hurts has been the starter, I think his jersey has been in the top 5 highest grossing, highest sold jerseys. I think by way of the Fanatic, or is it Lids? One or the other.
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts' jersey is one of the highest selling. So it makes you wonder where the hate really comes from.
I think it's just another manufactured narrative, because it seems to me that Jalen Hurts is the number one trending item to get the most response. I say this all the time. If you ever want to get a little extra traction in the videos, say something wrong. Say it wrong on purpose, and you'll be surprised how many people will show up to let you know you're wrong. Now, if you're right, won't nobody say nothing. But if you're wrong, they will come out of the woodworks to tell you you're wrong. So
or if they believe you're wrong, or if they just believe you're wrong, right? So,
or if it's just, I think Jalen is he is not, but his conversation has become polarizing. It's like you love it or hate it, and it's like, why? You're not having this type of conversation with Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold ain't been to the Super Bowl twice. So, what's the excuse now? Sam Darnold didn't play great. He wasn't the MVP, but props to him for getting his ring. He got there. Yeah. But there's always something wrong with it. It always something has to be better. And again, we always go back to them style points. And I keep saying it. They wanted Matthew Stafford to be in that Super Bowl so bad. so bad. And he just couldn't get it done. For all of them yards he thrown, for all of that golden arm, Hall of Fame caliber, and this, that, all of those accolades they throw at Matt Stafford. Guess what? At the end of the day, he couldn't get it done. They lost.
Yeah. And you know, I don't even want to make it about anybody else because I actually like Matthew Stafford. And he's actually gotten it done. So I can't even. Now, granted, Jalen's been there twice, 1-1. Stafford's been there once, 1-1. I mean, I respect guys who got it done. You know, things don't always work out perfectly, but if you play well enough to get it done, you earn my respect. So Sam Darnold, you know, I may have my opinions about the player overall and you know his career trajectory, but he got it done. He may never reach that height again. This may have been his magnum opus, and he may never ever reach that crescendo in his career ever again.
Right.
But I gotta respect the guy for getting it done and doing his job to a level where he wasn't a hindrance or a handicap to his team. I gotta respect the guys who get it done. So those guys aside, right? And again, I'm not comparing talent. I'm not comparing none of those things. I want to make it abundantly clear that I'm talking about guys that get it done because sometimes the most talented guys get it done, and sometimes the most talented guys don't get it done.
Don't get it done.
And sometimes the guys who maybe were average at best at talent, or maybe just above average, or maybe they were just good, but they had great coaching and great players around them, and they knew how not to fuck it up. There's something to that, right? Some people want to put Jalen Hurts in the category of somebody who he's paid not to mess it up, he's not paid to make it better.
Isn't it funny that all of those guys that have the elite talent, when they don't get it done, it's always because they've never had the team around them. They never had this piece. They never had good receivers. They never had a good defense. It's always something that they was missing.
Mm-hmm. Every year, it's about what Josh Allen doesn't have, yet the talent is good enough to get him there, but it's not good enough to win the game.
Right.
Help me understand that.
The fact that Jalen Hurts was labeled the most hated quarterback and Josh Allen was named the most loved, I was like, you know, somebody making this shit up. This don't even sound right. But hey, your opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one.
Yeah, that is true. So, like, you know, bringing it back to the whole Jalen Hurts versus AJ Brown thing, like, look, we ultimately don't know as much as people want to pretend like they know.
No,
we ultimately don't know what their issue is with each other, if there even is an issue with each other, right? Because people like to put their sauce on it, and they like to act like they got the inside scoop. And maybe AJ Brown does one out, but he's just keeping up appearances. Maybe he doesn't one out, and he really means what he says. Maybe Jalen Hurts isn't approachable. Maybe he is.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
And it's a weird thing because another clip that I saw, don't really watch this content, but a clip I saw another clip floating around where Acho was talking about how he saw Jalen Hurts at the Super Bowl parties.
At the party by himself?
And he was saying that he was sitting by himself. He said, I saw all these other players mingling with everybody. I saw Jalen Hurts sitting by himself.
You know what that sounds like to me?
And real quick, before you go, Marcus, when he talks, it even sounds like a lie. It even sounds disingenuous. It's too performative to the point where it just sounds like hyperbole.
You know who was like that? Is two ex-players. And the more I listen to them, they got that, to me, they got that bully mentality. They were the dudes that was always trying to push somebody into doing something. Like, I saw Jalen Hurts in the club with his shades on by himself. Why you sitting by yourself, dog? Well, why you worried about it if he's not bothering you? What do you want him to do? What do you want him to do? And I just remember, if you ever watch The Pivot, watch that episode when Channing Crowder was talking about Russell Wilson. And I was like, what is the I don't know. I don't even know the word. It's not infatuation. But what is the deal with guys that get upset that somebody that is considered high level, celebrity level status that doesn't do anything?
Or they don't
really
move.
drink, they don't smoke, they don't go to the strip clubs, they don't do all of the other stuff. And I always wonder, like, what is it about guys that get upset when they come across people that don't want to do that? That always interested me. Like, I don't want to smoke. No, I don't like guns. I don't.
No,
There's some
I don't
things
want
that
to get up.
wanna do 'cause
I don't want
be
to
the
get up
bad.
and talk to everybody.
Exactly. What's the problem? So when Acho said what he said, I thought it was extremely odd that he used that example. Like, you got somebody chilling, you don't know what he was doing before you got there and before you saw him. So you have zero context. You saw him at a party. To me, that's like somebody watching you and your wife walk in the house, and you and your wife just happen to be in a spirited conversation, and they catch 10 seconds of a 30-minute conversation, and they run back and tell somebody y'all getting divorced. Because you saw a small piece of a whole different conversation that you know nothing about. You have zero context. And the first thing you do is you get on your podcast and you just start talking. Did you see Joey Porter? Did you see what he said? Joey
No,
Porter,
I did.
he was on a conversation of talking about Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger got on somebody's podcast and was talking trash on, I guess, on Mike Tomlin. And Joey Porter was like, Ben Roethlisberger is the last person that needs to be talking on somebody's podcast. He called him out. He said he was the worst teammate, and the stuff that he did, he was talking about his assault case, and he said the stuff that he did was beyond foul. So he the last person that need to be talking bad on Coach Tomlin. And I was like, why is it that people, why do they wait? Why do they wait until they out of the game? What's his name? What was the dude's name? This happened in Arizona. It was a cornerback that was in Arizona that ended up getting traded. And after he got traded, he started talking shit on the quarterback. And I was like, you were there for 2 years with him and you never said nothing. And the minute you step out, now you got all this stuff to say. But when you saw him face to face every day in the locker room, you ain't never say nothing to him. You ain't never pull him up to the side. He started trashing Kyler Murray. And it was like, well,
was it Hollywood Brown?
It wasn't Hollywood Brown. It was somebody on defense. It was somebody, I believe it was a cornerback or a safety on defense. But I just remember he had all of this stuff to say after he had left the team. And I'm like, bro, if you're a leader on the team, pull that bro to the side and be like, hey, what's going on? I might not agree with what you're saying, but we got to get to this. We got to get to this destination. So what are you doing? Because that was at the height of, Kyler Murray's playing too many video games. He's doing too much Call of Duty and all of that kind of stuff. So, but again, it's the same thing. Like, if you got an opportunity to say something and y'all face to face, or is somebody doing something that, why is it irking you that bad? Because they're doing it or they're not doing it.
Right.
And I always thought that was interesting. Why does it bother people so much that they ain't into the grimy, into the nonsense?
Here's the thing, right? Jalen Hurts has always, carried himself, and every person I've heard that speak about him that actually has had real conversations with him, real relationships with him, they say he's an old soul. They say he's funny as hell.
Exactly. They say that's what you see at the press conference is not Jalen Hurts.
They say he rock with who he rock with.
He rock with who he rock with.
And Devontae
said that be enough.
Devontae said that on the Pat Surtain and the Terry Arnold podcast. And Pat Surtain knows Jalen Hurts.
I saw that.
And Smitty knows Jalen Hurts. AJ no Jalen Hurts. Like, there's people who've really been around Jay Hurts, and I've never heard a teammate say anything slightly confusing or bad about him. Let me put it this way. I've never seen or misunderstood when a fellow teammate or player spoke about Jalen Hurts. I never misunderstood it. It was always clear to me. And I respect people who have the courage of their convictions. I even respect people even more so when they're able to anchor themselves in the midst of a hurricane, in the midst of a tsunami. When you're as high a profile as Jalen Hurts, whether people want to accept it or not, Jalen Hurts is one of the hottest things moving right now.
Right.
Jalen Hurts can move and conduct himself a lot of different ways than how he has. And let's really put all our chips on the table, Marcus. Let's really put all our chips on the table. When you're a brother and you're a quarterback, you ain't got but too many opportunities to mess this bag up.
Facts.
Let's call it what it is, right? Either, and here's what blows me, right? They get on guys, or they've gotten on guys like Cam Newton for being as jovial as he is or was, right? They've gotten on guys like Lamar Jackson for not looking like the stereotypical quarterback, or moving like or dressing. Let's put it that way. Let's say dressing like the stereotypical quarterback, right? Who else? It goes on and on, right? You know, when it just comes to that position, and there are certain guys that carry it different. And
Russell,
here's
another one.
Yeah, but here's the interesting thing about the Russell Wilson part of it, right? Because people used to get on Russell Wilson, still do, but they've gotten on Russell Wilson about how buttoned up he is, and to them it feels almost inorganic. It feels almost like he's just. It's one thing to be buttoned up, but it's another thing to feel like you're better than people or you're above people, right? And some people have felt like that's the Russell Wilson, like that's how he moves. Now, I don't know that for a fact. I'm not substantiating that, but I'm just going off of what people have said, right? The way Jalen Hurts carries it, he's buttoned up, but there's a swagger to it. There's a coolness about it. There's an authenticity about it. And I think that's the part that frustrates people the most. They want to put him in that Russell Wilson category so bad, but they really can't.
Well, they can't, and even with the Russell Wilson thing, that's
because I've heard I've heard conflicted things about Russell Wilson. I've heard people say, "Listen, he's just a run of the mill good guy." Then I've heard that perfect example. Marshawn Lynch had a story where he tried to get you to build that bomber Russ, and he felt like Russ will always curve him a bit. Now, Marshawn is an acquired taste. Pause. But you know what I mean? Like
exactly. And I know the conversation you're talking about because I saw it too. But the first thing I thought of was everybody ain't gonna be feeling Marshawn Lynch because he's rough around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
To your point, he's an acquired taste, and he looked like one of them dudes that'll pop off at any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Russell Wilson ain't trying to bring no drama to nobody. He don't want that smoke.
Churchgoer, married man,
and not afraid to tell you he don't want that smoke.
And that's what I respect about Russell though. I respect that. I respect that Russell carries it how he's been carrying it and always has carried that way. He's a corny guy, and I don't mean corny in the sense that how people have been using it, because they've been trying to call him corny from a negative standpoint. Corny also means that someone's like all shucks. They're kind of just like, they're just they're a regular guy. Like they don't really get into the,
Well, everybody done been around people where they not from the streets.
Yeah, that's what it is. He ain't got an edge. There's no edge to him,
dude. Because let me be honest with you, that type of stuff speaks to me because I remember when me and my sister went back. We moved back to Cincinnati, right? So you going into the 9th grade. That is a pivotal point in your life when you get into high school.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Of course, I'm playing football. We living in the suburbs because our school district was huge.
Mm-hmm.
We were living in the suburbs. All my friends, they was in lower middle class or in the hood. And they will take every opportunity to clown you because you don't live where they live. I used to come through, pick them up. I remember spending the night at one of my boys' house who lived in the projects, all of that type of stuff. Because my dad grew up in the projects. My grandmother was in the projects. So we used to go down in the projects to visit. So I was familiar with it. We just didn't live there. But they would take every opportunity to try to clown you or try to, make you look bad or something like that. And then what made it worse was when I started getting good at football, because I was a late bloomer. And I'm taking the spot of some of the guys that grew up in the hood. They definitely didn't like that. So there's I don't even know what to call it. Is it an ego thing? Like where they do look down on you because you're not from the streets, you ain't down with it. And it's like, well, no, I'm not supposed to be. So I can't get penalized for what my outlook is and how I do things. How I was raised.
Let me put it to you this way, right?
Because
I can't crucify somebody for how they're raised, right?
Nah.
Because you have no control over that. But hear me out on this, right? I love the story you brought up because I'm a guy, I'm a man who grew up in the projects. Born and raised. I mean, listen, 33rd in York raised me. Arizona Street raised me. I'm talking North Philly, North Filthy, 23rd and Diamond, 23rd and Dolphin raised me. Fifth and Island raised me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm from the city for real.
Exactly.
I had to catch SEPTA to and from school, high school. I had to catch the cheese bus. I was one of the last stops on the bus ride because my bus stop was in the hood. I used to get dropped off up the block from Strawberry Mansion High School. Had to walk home. To and from. Bus stop, home. Bus stop, home. Like, I remember going to the corner store on Diamond Street. What is that? 26 and Diamond? 27 and Diamond? No, I lied. That might be 24th or 23rd. Nonetheless, that's 23rd and Diamond. Yeah. I remember going to the corner store, 23rd and Diamond. See the block boys doing their thing. I lived in it. I was from it, but I wasn't of it. And I never played myself out of position. I used to go to Golden Star Baptist Church right there on what is that? CCB Moore? As a kid, like I'm Johnson Homes Projects. My aunt used to live in Johnson Homes Projects. I used to walk from Raymond Rosen Projects to Johnson Homes Projects almost every day, every weekend. That's where I'm from. I'm from it, but I was never of it. I got family members who from it and they of it. Right. And the thing is, I was always able to stay anchored in who I was. Did I get, back in the day, they used to call it you busting, like, or you trolling, but now they call it trolling. But
in front,
now it's, we used to roast each other back in the day, and I used to get roasted for being a smart guy,
right?
By my own cousins. It was with love,
right?
And but
reality, they knew it was different.
But here's the thing, right? I fast forward and I say all that to say, one of my older cousins, we called him Tone, and me and him was talking one day. I'm grown at this point, and he said, "Yo, A." My family called me A, because Antonio. But my family called me A. He said, "Yo, A, man, like, I'm really proud of you, dog." I'm like, yeah, cuz I appreciate you. She said, "No, like, I need you to hear me out." The reality is, everything that we everything we've been through, you done seen us do. You was outside with us, all that kind of stuff, and you took all the hits and all that kind of stuff, and you was just you stayed you. That's the respect. Staying you, no matter what. Staying you. He said you get more respect from me for staying you. You never let anything we did or change you. You was who you was.
Knowing your lane and staying in it.
I knew my lane and I stayed in my lane. So I bring it back to Jalen Hurts, Russell Wilson, guys like that, Lamar Jackson or Cam Newton. Guys, I respect guys who are who they are unapologetically. Say what you want about Cam Newton today. I like Cam Newton, the player. He was who he was. Lamar Jackson, I like the player. He is who he is. Dak Prescott is a Cowboy, but guess what? I like who Dak Prescott is. He is who he is. And Jalen Hurts seems to be held to this weird standard, either on the field or off the field, to the point where you got people saying that he's stuck up
They're making up shit.
or he's unapproachable. It's like, how do you know? Did you try to approach him, or did the aura scare you?
Correct. Everybody gets so upset when you get somebody at that level and they're not doing dirt.
Was he not approachable, or did the aura scare you?
Right. What you mean? So what you telling me is he was sitting by himself with glasses on, and you got the mouth that you got. You got the voice that you got, and you ain't go over and say what's up, dap them up. It ain't even got to be a deep conversation. You could just dap them up and say what's up. The problem is that when you catch somebody nowadays, and here's where it all comes full circle, because nowadays your voice gets out so far and everybody sees what you're saying. And there's a good possibility that he's seen some of the bullshit that you put out there about his name.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why you ain't go dap him up or at least acknowledge him is because you know what you said, and most likely he know what you said too.
You cooking.
Correct.
Cooking.
And whoever he was with, I'm sure if they would have seen you together, they'd have been like, "Hey man, he was talking greasy on you 3 weeks ago, bro. Don't give him you know what I'm saying?" So you have every right to say what you want to say.
Mm-hmm.
However, it don't mean you're gonna get away with it. It don't mean that somebody ain't gonna see you and step to you. That's the era that I come from.
I think
if somebody wrote something foul about you and put it in the Philadelphia Inquirer, shout out to the beat reporters, because they had to be in the locker room to look you in your eye.
Yes.
Face to face. So even if they did write some bullshit, they had to come see you. And some of them conversations were very uncomfortable. Y'all think I'm playing? Go back on YouTube and you look up Bobby Bonilla when he was with the Mets. And him and that reporter went at it. And he was about to jack that reporter up in the locker room. Because Bobby, now, granted, Bobby Bonilla was in the wrong in that situation, but he didn't like what the dude wrote. And that dude had to step in that locker room to see him. And everybody saw it. That's the one where Bobby Bonilla is like, "Make your move, homeboy. What you going?" Like, he was about to go at him. Now, it'd have been hell of a stupid, but, you know, the point is that he wrote what he wrote, and he still had to step in that locker room to see him face to face. And he did. So whether you liked him or not, you still had to have the guts to walk up in there and still stick that microphone in somebody's face again.
Mm-hmm.
Again. Ray Dinger tells a story where him and what's his name? What's the coach for the Eagles? They ended up winning with the Rams.
Oh, you talking about oh my God.
Boys coach.
Oh my God, why am I blanking? Legend.
He coached my buddy. He coached my buddy Ken Dunnick.
Chat, help me out. I'm blinking right now. Sorry. I'm blinking right now. I am blinking, but you said something key, right? You said something key.
I was just gonna say him and Ray Dinger got into a fight, like a shouting match. Like they had to pull him into the office and go at it, and Ray Dinger had to explain his point of view, and Coach Vermeil, Dick Vermeil had to explain like why you keep writing this stuff, and Diddy was like, "I'm gonna tell the truth," and then they had to go back. But my point is, they had to see each other face to face, and they had to come to an understanding. They had to get to that place, and they don't do that no more. So you hide behind, "I'm in my podcast. I'm on the West Coast. I don't ever get to see him, so I can just say what I want to say."
Mm-hmm.
So it all comes around and exposes and presents itself in different ways and in different manners. But at the end of the day, to me, it all comes down to, what can your ego take?
Stay there. Because I love you brought up because the ego was a part of all of this. All these people are ego.
Absolutely.
And you talked about it from the perspective of, hey, you got to see this person. You come from the era of somebody approaching you.
Yeah.
You come from that era. And you said something, hey, you got to explain that to you. wrote that? Explain that to me, big dog. I ain't gonna put my hands on you, but explain that. But here's the era we in now. Here's the era we in now. Because there's cameras everywhere, and because there's so many,
it's on the internet.
So many avenues for content to go out, and the internet, and because we're in the era of saving face, I feel like we're in the era of saving face more now than ever. Because now your face can be seen in more than two or three channels. Now you can't just hide behind the article. You say something on his microphone, somebody's gonna come see you, right? But I think the real the evolution of that is not the fact that somebody gonna come see you, is that when you try to approach that person, they spin you, they curve you, they say, "Oh, bro, go ahead, get out of here."
Nah, miss me.
Nobody want that energy on them.
They hit you with the Drake.
Nobody want that energy on them. That's embarrassing. That's an embarrassing. Let alone don't let people be around. More people avoid that. I think that is the era we're in now. And not saying people don't approach people today, but now you can't even approach somebody because they'll sue you for even just breathing on them.
Right.
So now the new version of that is, hey, I see that guy over there. Let me not go. Let me not approach him, and then come up with a story saying he's not approachable. No,
well,
you know better, because if you approach him, he's gonna let you know what's up.
Exactly. And here's the thing:
he's not approachable to you or for you.
Because we got these right here. Because everybody got an iPhone. I can tell you what you said and show you when you said it. I got receipts right here,
like that.
Ever present. So if I'm curbing you, it's a reason, and I'm gonna show you the reason. If you gonna act like you don't know, so to me it all goes down to, like, dude, just keep it 100. Whatever your opinion is, just keep it 100.
It's such a random take to me. Like, it's just such a.
It was. I agree.
It's such a. I was at the Super Bowl party. I see these people talking to people. I see, how he talks. I see these people talking to people. I see these people talking to people. I see these, and then all of a sudden I see Jalen Hurts by himself with sunglasses on in the club, and I'm like,
and again, the question is, so what? So what? Because now, take it a step further, and then it becomes, okay, so you saw him in the corner by himself chilling. So the next question is, so what would you have done? If you would have been in the corner, who would have been with you? Or would you have been by it? Did everybody else get up and go to the bathroom or something? You don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, in all the photos I saw Jalen Hurts rapping with Smitty and his lady. I saw Hurts rapping with Will
at that same party.
At that same party,
we missing context.
Yeah. Like Jalen Hurts could have said, "Hey, y'all clear out. I gotta take this call." Like, or he could have just hung back. Jalen Hurts is, first of all, like I said, it comes up often that he's an old soul.
Right.
I highly doubt Jalen Hurts is the mixy type too. And like I said, you say he's not approachable. No. He's not approachable
to you.
For you.
Correct.
Because when I met Jalen Hurts, and I reference this story often, I had the opportunity to meet Jalen Hurts at the Maxwell Awards. It was 2022. It was 2023, actually. No, I lied. Excuse me. I saw, what was the year they went to the bowl and they lost? That was
22.
Yes. So
22-23 season.
Yeah. So I was at the Maxwell Awards and I had the opportunity to meet Jalen Hurts, right? I think this was in March or April. And met Sirianni, met BG just as he is as advertised.
He is what he is.
That's exactly, he is that guy. And did Jalen Hurts have an energy about it that's like, oh shit, that's Jay Hurts? Yeah. I will say this. When you get around Jalen Hurts, the air get thick.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest, and again, I'm not gonna sit here.
I can co-sign that because I felt the same way when I went to practice. I went to alumni practice.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm alumni, I'm standing with Barrett Brooks and Irvin is over there, and I'm standing with the Hall of Famer Harold Carmichael, and we rapping, and I'm with all the old heads, and I'm with big bro Seth, and we all chilling. And I'm trying to mosey on over there after practice because we get to mingle and take pictures and all that kind of stuff. And even with us, Jalen Hurts got a line of folks that want to take a picture with him. So when you say the air is thick, because you get up there, it's like, all right, I don't really want to bother him. He got 30 other people. He got kids and stuff. You know, I ain't going to be that dude that's like trying to pull him out. Like, yo, let me get it. Like, go ahead and do your thing, bro. If I catch you, I catch you.
Yeah, it's like.
So I understand what you're saying because that's a great way to explain it. It's like everybody's trying to get at him at the same time.
Yeah, and again, I had a chance to actually just wasn't many people at this point. We backstage, and he's about to go up and accept his Maxwell Award, the Burt Bell Award, and we backstage. Nick Sirianni's back there. Not too many of us back there. I'm standing shoulder to shoulder, just next to him. But prior to that, I was able to get a couple pics. Even before that, he didn't know where the restroom was. So I said, I got you. Walked him over there. He said, yo, can you make sure nobody come in here behind me? Like I said, no problem. So I stood there. Boom. He took care of his business. He came back. We walking. And I'm just talking to him like a regular dude. But that's Jay Hurts.
Yeah.
And like I said, the air gets thick. And I said to myself, fuck this. I'm talking to this man. So yeah. I'm talking to him, keeping it regular, you know what I mean? Oh, word, like, what's your mindset in those moments, those big moments, man? Like, I'm chopping it up. And he said, honestly, you can't really explain it.
You can't.
You just in it. Nothing else matter.
Yeah.
So
you can't. It's very, very. Remember when I tried to explain what it was like walking on the stadium, and everybody. Yeah. The first time I walked in the vet, and the energy is tangible. You feel it.
So what I'm saying is, like,
I get it.
He was approachable. He was cool, relaxed. He was who he was.
He was who he was.
And if you talk to him, he'll talk to you. But I respect the man that doesn't waste words. I respect the man that's efficient with his words. And for somebody in his position, he got to be efficient with his words. That's a $50 million man you're talking about. That's a $50 million man you're talking about.
Bro, remember when I told you I hooked up with Kelsey? Yo, I got it. Did I ever show you that?
I saw the video.
I got it on tape.
I ain't see the video. I saw the photo you guys took. It was dope pic. It was dope.
I got it on tape. I was like, Jake, because I was like, me, Jason Kelsey, and Brent Selleck. Me and Brent Selleck are from Cincinnati. And Kelsey went to Cincinnati, but he's from Cleveland.
Right.
So I was like, dude, we got to take a picture with all the Ohio boys. So I'm in there, we taking pictures. I got it on videotape. I said, yo, Jay, I got to get you on my podcast, bro. I was like, I'm getting this on tape. You are going to be on my podcast. He was like, let's do it. Am I really going to like try to track him down and call him out on that?
It's not that deep.
No.
It's a moment. It's fun. We're having fun. Like, yeah.
And the funny part is, I knew he was about to blow up. I knew he was, and this was a little bit before Travis and Taylor happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that happened, everything blew up. Now they podcast is bigger than Joe Rogan's. He at the Olympics now.
Mm-hmm.
Like he on another stratosphere right now. And I'm like, you can't call that shot no more.
Yeah, that shot is over with.
Over with.
It's over with. But even more so, like, these are regular guys, but they got status and they carry how they carry it. And when you see, the thing is, when you move and file, everybody's unapproachable.
Yeah.
When you move and file and you just talking and you're not really you don't really mean what you say, but you just put energy out there, everybody's unapproachable to you. But Jalen Hurts, he let me take a pic. Like I took two different photos with him. I said, Jay Hurts, can I get a pic? Me and him, me and we took, yeah, me, him, and Sirianni took a pic. Then me and Jalen took a solo. Like, just he's cool. He's a cool dude. So and then I met Big Dom. Like, Big Dom held it down. And he said,
"Yo, Big Dom is the best, bro."
I said, "Hey, yo, my man D Gun."
Big Dom is the best.
I said, "My man D Gun said, yo, what's up, man?" He said, "You know D Gun." I said, "Yeah, D Gun is my guy. I work with D Gun every day." He said, "Yo, D Gun is he said that's a real man right there. That's a real dude."
Yeah, so, Big Dom is the truth, man.
A lot of these guys, man, look, I know a lot of people out there with bigger voices or bigger platforms. They get paid the big bucks to speak all this jargon about Jay Hurts or the Philadelphia Eagles, whatever it is. And we could put a pin in this topic and maybe transition, but because we don't spend like 30 minutes on it. But the point is, all those narratives out there about Jalen Hurts, you don't gotta believe them. You don't gotta believe them. They don't think because they loud and talk fast, they're right.
Correct. We just got a team full of some real dudes.
Like Smitty, that's a real dude. Say what you want about AJ Brown, that's a real dude.
And we ain't got a bunch of dudes about nonsense.
And if you notice, all the stories you hear about these guys, they always come from people not in the building. People claim they got sources. Okay. I'm not jacking it. Sorry. Because I've heard many different players speak highly of AJ Brown, Smitty, Jalen Hurts, Saquon, like all the guys that they say got egos. And look, when you playing at that level, when you're getting that kind of money, there's an ego to you. You can't get to that level and not have ego.
Absolutely.
Certain things are baked in. So when people say certain things about these guys and how they're unapproachable or how they're me first guys or cancers in locker room or they're not authentic, whatever it is, it's like, hold on, wait. Like, are you saying it's because they actually did something to you? Or are you saying it's because, hey, they couldn't take that one picture you wanted?
You just feeling how you feeling. You in your feelings. Dude, there's only been one player who I
trust us. He met Kelce.
Their personality didn't match.
Like,
the only person the personality didn't match, in my opinion, was CJ Gardner-Johnson. And he made it work. Like, props to him for making it work. Because he understood they were a good team. He understood whatever he was doing before wasn't working. Because he wasn't getting close to the big game. So, and even when he came back, he said it himself. I was in my feelings, So we got a lot of guys that aren't about that foolishness.
Yeah,
and it shows.
You got grown men on the Philadelphia Eagles for real. And sometimes when grown men got differences, all right. Sometimes they leak oil. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like it's you got multi-million-dollar bodies walking around that building. People who get into it for real, real men. And I saw how Jalen Hurts treated my homegirl Simone Stanley. Remember this?
Yeah.
I remembered you. Yeah, like you was cool. Like I've seen and heard about conversations about AJ Brown. Like I know people who got a direct line to AJ Brown. Real dude.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about this, but and I'm not gonna get to the contents of it. Had a very brief. I want to make it very clear. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's more than what it is. I had a very brief exchange with Darius Slay. Real dude.
Yeah.
Reasonable. Like, and that was it. He asked me what he asked me. I gave him the answer I gave him. He said respect, and that was that. Like, wasn't no rah-rah stuff and not, it was just
right. Kevin real.
The point is, like, sometimes guys are not going to carry it the way you want them to carry it. And that's the issue. That goes all the way. You brought it full circle
back to the whole Acho situation. Like, why would you ask that question? And for what? And by the way, I need you to connect me with Simone. I have a specific question for her about her Super Bowl coverage.
Simone is awesome.
She did a we hit each other up on just strictly on X. Like I respond to some of the stuff and she'll respond sometimes to some of my posts and stuff like that. That's about it. But she sat down with Chris Collinsworth and I was like, that's my boy. I'm a Cincinnati boy. I grew up with Chris Collinsworth, number 80 going up and catching that rock. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I wanted to talk to her specifically about that. Like, yo, what was my boy Collinsworth like? Because I know everybody hate him and think he's the worst commentator. I don't mind him because that's my boy. I will never hate. You can't make me hate Chris Collinsworth.
I don't mind Chris Collinsworth. You know, I don't mind him. I don't mind him at all.
Yeah.
You know, and then like somebody brought up Smitty and said, Smitty likes Jalen. That's all that matters. Look, here's the thing, right? Smitty was on Carmelo Anthony's podcast a couple years ago. Matter of fact, he was on it last offseason after they won the bowl. And he speaks openly about his relationship with Jalen Hurts, or he has when asked. He said, "Listen, man, Jared." He said, "Jared's the real dude, man." Like he said, "Man, you know, one day, you know, after we lost that last one, you know, I came over the crib. It was just me and him. We were just shooting pool, and we were just talking about getting back to that moment, getting back to that opportunity." Like,
well, man, you saw what he said after the win.
When he's talking to AJ and talking to Smitty, he said, "Man, you kept through a lot to get here." He's Smith, and that's an emotional Smitty.
This shit together,
and that's an emotional Smitty.
Yes, you kept this shit together, and immediately I was like, "Yeah, they went through some stuff." Like, I keep bringing up the locker room is a family dynamic. You don't like everybody in your family, but you find a way to get along because that's your family.
Yeah, me and my brother beef growing up sometimes, like not no real beef, but like, you know, like sibling, right? You know how that goes. Like people you love, you've had problems with, and you fix it.
Yeah,
do what you got to do.
My cousin said this one time. She said, "My sister drives me nuts, but let her call. Let her need some help. I'm running."
Yeah.
And it's like that's what family is. And that's the dynamic that happens in the locker room. So all of these people, all these radio stations and media that jump on every little word like it's like every problem is a cancer in the locker room. There's a schism in the locker room. There's a split. And like, no, this is what happens with family, period.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't sell.
We are a team, if we are a team that can get through, what's the boy's name that said the greasy stuff at the concert? Riley Cooper.
Oh, God.
If we can deal with a situation like Riley Cooper, bro. If we can deal with a situation like T.O., you've seen the worst of stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we are far from it. So when we do have our hiccups and we do have our little ups and downs, which every team has every year, why do we in the Philadelphia media, why do they take it to the nth degree like they are looking for something just so absolutely rotten? Your boy said that on the radio on 97.5. I forget who they were. The guys that are on in the morning. They had Adam Schefter. They had Adam Schefter on.
That's the camera, right? And
is it Salchunas?
Oh no! You're talking about, okay. I'm sorry. You're talking about Kincaid and Salchunas?
Kincaid, yeah.
I like Kincaid.
Schefter was on. I like him too, but I was like, Schefter was on, and he kept hitting him with questions about AJ Brown. And Schefter, to his credit, was like, "Dude, I don't know." And finally, Schefter literally said, "You keep asking these questions like you're looking for something to talk, like you're looking for something." And the dude was finally like, "Yes, we're looking for any information about AJ Brown getting traded." And Schefter was like, "I don't know what to tell you. Ain't nothing there. Ain't nothing happening." But he was so gung-ho looking for any little tidbit, any little piece of information that they could just take it and run with it. And it's like, oh my goodness. Like, give the man a break. You know, ask the same question 30 times.
Yeah, and to your point, D Gun was on 97 for that today. And they asked him about the AJ Brown thing. And he said the Eagles want AJ Brown in the Eagles uniform in 2026. And D Gun, he talks to the right people. Shout out to the OG D Gun. I got real love for D Gun. D Gun told me a lot about this game, gave me a lot of opportunity. Show love to my platform. And people have disagreed or agree with D Gun many times. Listen, it comes with the territory, but D Gun has never ever purposefully put himself in the crosshairs. And what I mean by that is he's somebody who does the job honestly, and sometimes misinformation happens and you wear it. But he's not a guy who just drops bombs into the ether and just hides his hands, or he just wants to stir them. That's a grown man. That's a real man. That's not how he moves. That's not the person I've worked with. He's not somebody that just stirs it. He said the Eagles want AJ Brown in a Eagles uniform in 2026. I'm going to believe that.
I'm going to believe it too.
I'm going to believe that. So the question becomes, does AJ Brown want to remain in the Eagles uniform? Does he have enough belief in the overall vision? Because at the end of the day, the grass is not always greener. It's not. The reality is you're well paid. They pay you well.
Right.
And look, AJ Brown's the type that he wants to really affect the game. He wants to really be part of the game. And I love that about him, right? It's not just about him getting his bread and that's that. He okay with the result. No, he wants to not only win, he wants to not only get paid, but he wants to be a part of it and wants to make an impact. I love that about him. His work ethic, the way he takes care of his body, the way he dedicates himself to his craft. I love that about him. To have a guy who never is satisfied and who genuinely wants to kill the opponent across from him, figuratively, of course. I love that. So, does AJ Brown want to stay in Philadelphia? It all remains to be seen. He's saying all the right things.
Listen, I'm gonna take him for his word, and I'm gonna take him at his word until I see otherwise.
And I have no choice, but to take him for his word. I hope rumors that are circulating aren't fact, but Adam Schefter, he gets it. He gets the scoops, even the smallest tidbit. He said, look, there's nothing there right now. Nothing there. And then D Gun saying, look, the Eagles want him in a uniform. They want him here. Does AJ Brown believe in the vision? Look, he's well paid in a city that ultimately loves him. He's a Super Bowl champion here. He's already a legend here. He can really continue to cement his legacy here. I think he has a faster track to the Hall of Fame in the Eagles uniform than anywhere else.
Yeah, it would be a gamble. It would be a gamble because we look at your boy Devontae
Adams.
Devontae Adams.
Now, granted, he made it to the Rams. That's a good situation to be in. But them few years he's the Raiders.
Did he get to a Super Bowl? He was chasing the ball, chasing the bag, and couldn't. It just wasn't working.
I'll take it a step further. He wasn't chasing the bag. He was chasing Rodgers.
He was ring chasing.
Look, the reality is when Rodgers left, he felt like now is my time to go. When in reality, he probably should have stayed in Green Bay.
Probably should have stayed.
And bet on that young core because that out of all the opportunities he's had to get to Super Bowl, his best opportunities probably would have been there. Now, granted, he made it to the NFC Championship with the Rams his first year. That's great. That's great. You came close. That's the closest you've gotten.
You came close. That's about it. That's all you're going to say?
But that's about it. I feel like he would have had a more continuous chance if he would have stayed with Green Bay than going to the Raiders.
And Jordan Love would have been better than he is now.
Jordan Love probably would have been better. That combination with Devontae Adams, Romeo Doubs, and now look, there's so much that goes into it. Maybe certain players aren't there if he's there. Who knows? But the reality is Jordan Love was there. The quarterback was there. When
you get that age, you get impatient.
Yeah.
When you get that age, you get impatient. Listen, we said the same thing about Ndamukong Suh and Linval Joseph when we got them.
Mm-hmm.
But they took their shot and we just fell short.
Mm-hmm.
So at least in Ndamukong Suh, he's been to a Super Bowl before. But it is so very difficult to get one, to get there, to get back. That's why I'm so, I'm so happy that Seattle won, because I wanted to see DeMarcus Ware get a Super Bowl ring, not with the Cowboys. Just because he called that out. He called that shot.
Mm.
So, I wanted to see that, and we got it. And, now they got right back to square one. Right back to square one. And I still think that our Super Bowl window is open. I still think that it's open, and we our defense is still going to be good. We just got to get that offense together. And if we do get that offense together, we should be right back in the same situation like we were last year. I predict that we gonna win the NFC East. And if Sean Manning is anything close to what people are making him out to be, we're gonna be all right.
Exactly. I agree with 100%. I agree with 100%. Anything else you want to touch on before we go, big dog?
Nah, we just
it's the off season, so we're going to get creative throughout the week. So you know how that go.
What did you think about them moving Frazier? Was it Parks Frazier?
Yeah. So what's his new role? Because he's the quarterback coach now.
He's the quarterback coach now.
Okay.
I guess he was gonna be the pass game coordinator.
He was pass game coordinator this past year.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't matter to me. I think all of these. Here's the thing: Frazier, Grizzard, Mannion. They've all worked together in some capacity in the past.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll throw what's his name? Cooper. The dude from the offensive line coach.
Mm.
So they've all been in each other's presence before, some way, shape, or form, or they all worked under the same coach. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint, it's a good mix of coaches because they all know the philosophy that Mannion is going to try to run.
Yeah.
And we got two recent former players with Mannion and with Cooper, with the OL coach. It wasn't too long ago where they were in the league actively playing. So I always think that's a plus to be at this position right now. And you were playing 3-4 years ago, you don't lose that muscle memory that quick. So you can speak the language. You can look at things a little bit more intricately than a older coach who hasn't been on the field or who was never on the field. So I think we have that advantage now with all of these coaches. So we'll see how it manifests next season, and because of these new coaches, I'm very interested to see what Howie's going to do and what we are looking for in the draft. What is the first? I saw the first piece of media today. Everybody's looking at that tight end from Oregon, or we're looking at that tight end from Oregon, and I'm like, I hope so. I hope so, because I don't know what they're going to do with Dallas Goedert. If he ain't going to take a discount, he might be outie.
He's coming off a career year touchdown wise. I don't know. I doubt it. Listen, there's the Parks Frazier, former quarterback at Murray State. Sean Mannion, former quarterback at Oregon State. Josh Grizzard, OC and passing game coordinator experience. I think the Eagles, this is their attempt at really trying to bring in a fresh perspective. And I respect it, man. One thing the Eagles gonna always do, they're gonna always zig when everybody think they should zag. And they have 2 Super Bowls to show for it. Sorry, you guys. I like those odds. 2 Super Bowls in 8 years. Hard to
I ain't
beat
got no problem with it. I'm
got a
I'm
problem
over
with
my feelings of Jeff Stoutland now.
Yeah, I'm over it too. I'm over it too. I'm way
gonna miss
past it
him.
now.
I wish they could have figured out a way to keep him, but I understand. This is the nature of the beast. This is the nature of the NFL. This is the game we play. Nothing is promised. So it's gonna do what it's gonna do. Hell, if the offensive line coach is really in a good situation because the offensive line can't play any worse than they did last year.
Facts.
When it
Speaking
comes
of
to
that,
running
Cam
the ball,
Jurgens.
so it can't get any worse.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I think Cam Jurgens had a procedure done recently. He got some stem cells. So hopefully he'll get back to back to himself.
Yeah.
It says here, Jurgens said, we got 70 million stem cells here about to go in. Go Birds, let's go. I'm excited to get healthy and get ready for the next season. So that's why I'm down here. So he went over to Wake Bio Hotel in Medellin, Colombia, to get, a blend of stem cells, ozone therapy, cryotherapy, traditional physical therapy.
Get the stuff that he can't get in the States.
Yeah. And I respect the guy for doing everything it takes to get his body back.
Right.
He's a young guy too. Young guy. So we'll see.
I haven't heard anything about Landon Dickerson though.
Yeah, that's that one's a little spooky. So we'll see how that goes. We'll definitely keep an ear to it. You guys know how we carry it here at Pro Fan Talking and Chalk It Up Sports, and especially the Bald Eagles podcast. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to both channels. You guys are fantastic. Again, we don't take it for granted. Any final words, Marcus?
Nah, that's it, man. We're getting ready for the combine in 2 weeks. It's about to go down.
Yes, sir. I love it. I love it. I love it. On that note, he's Marcus Thomas. I'm your guy, Tony Shows the Second. This has been the Bald Eagles podcast. And as always, fly Eagles fly, y'all.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Marcus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights, dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Fly guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. I like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soars in the sky. Tone and Marcus always standing by, bringing their heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.